Part 281. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 2801. While Bai Biao was talking, his lips couldn't help but start to tremble all over. Needless to say anything else, this kind of excitement can't help pouring into my heart. It also seemed a bit silly to say the least. Some words can be said, some words cannot be said. What do you mean we should be together forever? This is a kind of love speech from a man to a woman. You say it, is it too beautiful? Wouldn't it be good to explode a wave of mentality directly? If it's just a few words, then it's nothing. Anyway, that's what's going on, as long as you understand it in your heart. But the point is, this expression is wrong. At this time, she still has to follow the charming and enchanting wave from time to time. Who can resist this? Fang Fan felt inexplicably goosebumps all over his body at this moment. Boy Fang Fan, you don't know how much I miss you these days. Let me tell you, I'm not bragging in vain, and I was absolutely heartless before. But since I met you, I feel like I've changed. Completely changed. I feel that you are different from others. Those people are not qualified for me to remember, but you can. You have a different kind of magical power. This kind of magical power has gathered in my heart, and it has made me unable to extricate myself. Boy Fang Fan. Can you understand my heart? The more Bai Biao talked, the more excited he became, and the more he talked, the more nonsense he became. The key is that Fang Fan's brains are blown by this feeling of being full of affection. What a beautiful. Can't you just stay safe? Fang Fan let out a mouthful of turbid air, and already didn't know what to say. Seeing that Bai Biao was about to rush towards him with snot and tears, Fang Fan kicked him directly. Roll. Don't hate labor. Give labor and capital some normality. With a dark face, Fang Fan complained. This guy Bai Biao is becoming more and more cheap now. There are so many people here, what a joke. Why? Your heart is like mine. Too difficult. Fang Fan boy, you have changed. Bai Biao felt deeply, this guy wanted to be beaten again. Anyway, from beginning to end, it was very blissful. It is such a gesture that is expressed. Fang Fan let out a foul breath, and he didn't want to say more about some words. What's the matter with you guys? A team of 5 people. Now there are 3 left. Fang Fan glanced around, and then frowned subconsciously, which seemed a little strange. It would be nice if there were 3 people left. The other 2 are cold. These women don't have any compulsions in their hearts. They are 3-star sanctuary realm existences, and they actually try to kill several 4-star and 5-star sanctuary realm. I have nothing to say. Bai Biao shook his head, and then complained. Isn't it because you said how powerful you are? You also said that the person who can obliterate the sky-level students of the 6-star sanctuary of Guangming Academy is your brother. Then you said that Fang Fan is not worthy of carrying shoes in front of you. You still said you were going to cover us. As soon as the battle starts, you just know how to run. The first-year female student who escaped from the side glared at Bai Biao angrily and said. Fang Fan probably knew what happened. It must be that Bai Biao is too good at pretending, and then he pretended a little too much, and finally he was slapped in the face and arranged. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 2802. If it looks like this guy actually deserves it. It's alright, put a hammer. It's alright now, pretending to be a leak to myself. Liang Yueguang is fully practicing to the end, this wave is naturally extremely difficult. Cough. Can you blame me? If you want to blame, you can only blame you for being too deadly. I don't even know what to say about you. Why? Don't you have any strength in your heart? It's not enough to protect yourself, and you want to provoke other people. Really, I really don't understand your stupid operation. This wave really vomited directly. If you are not sending yourself to death, why are you here? Have you not counted in your heart yet? Bai Biao at the side took a deep breath, and while talking, immediately followed Quan Quan and roared. Needless to say, the rest for the time being, this feeling is fully in place. Anyway, this kind of moment is quite real. The words expressed in the chatter are also very pure. This time it was almost really cold. For Bai Biao, although his defense is invincible, if the enemy tied him up, he would be fine. If he is really tied up and brought back to the territory of the dark camp, what awaits him in the future will be days without the sun. Thinking of this, Bai Biao's body trembled subconsciously, the sound of inhaling became extremely rapid, and his whole body was completely collapsed at this moment. Needless to say, the rest for the time being, the mentality seems to be very broken at this moment. For the rest, there is no need to say anything more, I understand everything. When the 2 members of your team died, didn't the instructors from the school come forward to save you? Didn't you say that the school has arranged a tutor to protect us? Lu Jiyi on the side was stunned for a moment, and then found the key point. Fang Fan fell silent. Then he shook his head. Some things are said so, but as for how it is implemented, it is not known. This is an iron-blooded training. The mentors of Guangming Academy will only save meaningful and valuable seed class students. According to what my master said before, there must be at least 5-star sanctuary and above dark faction powerhouses, and they will act in secret. If the enemy's strength is too weak, they will not break the rules of the trial. Don't pin your hopes on unwarranted help, it's not realistic. Wait until you wipe out the holy city of light and kill all the assassins and spies of the dark faction around here, then you will be able to complete the trial. At present, the points marked on the mission map have basically swept over half. Some of them were wiped out by our team, and some were killed by other teams. Now it's time to focus on this direction. Fang Fan let out a mouthful of turbid air, thinking to himself, his eyes flickered with a different kind of brilliance. Although Fang Fan's words sounded a bit cold, he had to admit that these were the most true. The final picture is indeed like this. If you are not careful, you may be involved. Why? In order to be able to go to this academy exchange competition, it is really difficult for me. If I can't make a fortune in the Swifu College exchange competition this time, I will be so guilty. This is too difficult. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2803. Bai Biao took a deep breath, and while talking, he shook his head with sigh, feeling a splitting headache for no reason at this moment. Fang Fan glanced at the few people in front of him, and then said, "Do you want your team to act alone now or?" We. Cough, cough cough cough. Boy Fang Fan, I will definitely follow you. You don't want to leave me again, do you? I tell you, no matter what this time, I will catch you. This time, you can't escape from my grasp. Only when we gather together can we have hope. Otherwise, wouldn't it be bullshit to say 1,000 and 10,000? Anyway, we must follow through on this matter. Fang Fan boy, you can't leave me behind. Our love is as deep as the sea. Us. Boom. Seeing that Bai Biao was doing something again, Fang Fan kicked out. This guy feels uncomfortable if he doesn't do anything for a day. Still here to do these things. Fang Fan breathed out a turbid breath, and the black lines on his forehead flickered all over. He didn't want to say anything at the moment, Saying anything would give him a headache, that's all. Give me a break. It's okay for your team to follow our team, but all actions are under my command. If anyone acts without authorization, don't blame me for being ruthless. Fang Fan looked at the two first-year seed class female students in the distance. In fact, this sentence is mainly for the two of them. Although this guy Bai Biao talks a lot of nonsense on weekdays, but it is impossible to do such a deadly thing, this guy seems to be very life-saving. Needless to say the rest, this wave of feeling is probably such a pure feeling. As for the others, they basically disappeared into the invisible. That's what happened. Just follow it clearly in your heart, and for the rest of the things, just test it out. Being deliberately reminded by Fang Fan, the two first-year female students each lowered their heads, and subconsciously nodded accordingly. At this time, saving one's life is the first choice. As for other things, just keep steady and don't do those fancy things. Those things established in the mentality will gradually become more stable, that's all, no need to think too much. Fang Fan, don't worry, if they dare to make trouble, I will be the first to let them go. I always feel that this place is gloomy, so let's get out quickly. It's so dangerous. Hold on. Bai Biao now has a psychological shadow left in her heart. This guy usually has a character that is not afraid of anything. Even the deputy palace master Shui Wanren, who is in the demigod realm, dared to go up and contradict him, but this time he followed suit. Facts have proved that no matter how powerful the defense is, it is useless if it is not matched with strong attack methods. Bai Biao's defense is actually much stronger than Fang Fan's, but once the number of enemies reaches a certain number, if they continue to attack Bai Biao, they will always force Bai Biao to suffer certain injuries. Problems will gradually follow. When this kind of compulsory injury becomes more, it will be obvious what it will look like. The situation is very clear. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2804. Even if they can't do anything about Bai Biao's tyrannical defense, but they directly capture him and imprison him in a cage, how should Bai Biao deal with himself in this situation? After going through all this, Bai Biao seemed much more stable. Fang Fan led the crowd to continue to follow the prompts on the mission map, and began to accumulate the heads of practitioners from the Dark Camp. These can be regarded as trial points in the future. The higher the trial points, the greater the probability of staying in the first-year seed class. According to the intention of the Deputy Palace Master Shui Wanren, this time, about half of the students in the first-year seed class will be wiped out at once. In this way, the selected ones are the elite of the elite. Pressure, of course, is there. In the end, these trial points can be directly converted into credits. Tisk, this head of a practitioner from the Dark Camp represents credits, and the credits and the Star Core can be linked. Boy Fang Fan, if you harvest a few more, we will be prosperous. While Bai Biao was talking, the excitement on his face couldn't help but increased. What this guy was thinking about was actually the Star Core. In fact, the current Bai Biao is definitely not poor, not only not poor, but also very rich. It is not bad for an ordinary low-level saint-level powerhouse to have 18 billion low-grade star cores in his hands, but Bai Biao has 2 trillion low-grade star cores in his hands. This is basically equivalent to the sum of the properties of 200 ordinary low-level saint-level powerhouses. It is not an exaggeration to say that Bai Biao at this moment is a small golden mountain. So humming rich. Now that the aura of wealth is so high, what's the use of doing things that are not there? Can you calm down a little bit mentally? If you can't stand it, you will really be slapped in the face directly. Needless to say the rest, it feels very real. Husband, let's go and search for several locations on the mission map. Either the practitioners of the Dark Faction at the mission location have run away, or they have been taken over by other teams. Husband, this is too boring. husband, otherwise we'd better go back and hand in the mission. Xiao Liyulai glanced around, then nodded sincerely and said, it seemed too real, and they were all the most sincere words from the heart. What was expressed is probably what it is now. Authentic and pure. There is still one last inn on the mission map that hasn't been checked. It just happened to pass here. If you haven't, just go back directly. Fang Fan squinted his eyes and glanced around the mission map, then nodded and said, that's basically what's going on now. The basic situation is almost determined. As for other things, it's not easy to say much, just stay steady. I have searched so many quest points and returned without success. I don't think it's possible that this inn is so prominently located. Don't the assassins and spies of this dark camp know that they are street rats, and everyone shouts to beat them? You actually ran to stay in the hotel swaggeringly. Xiao Liyulai curled her lips, and said as a matter of course. It's not necessarily. It may also be the opposite. It mainly depends on their own ideas and methods. That possibility does exist. On the stage of Yanshan building before, there were 7 dancers who were assassins from the dark side. Lu Jiyi nodded, then analyzed with a smile. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2805. The more dangerous the place, the safer it may be. It's possible that practitioners of these dark camps have such reverse thinking. If there is, it is not impossible to follow the stabbing wave. Anyway, let's go and see. Just on the way. Fang Fan stretched, looking very casual. This trial task may be quite exciting to others, but in his opinion, there is nothing exciting for him after doing it all the way. In general, it seems to be extremely instant. Probably such a very real feeling. Fang Fan let out a mouthful of turbid air, thinking to himself, his eyes turned subconsciously. Soon, everyone came to the inn we talked about before, called Breaking Dawn Inn. Looking at the past, people are coming and going, obviously the business of this Dawn Inn is still very good. According to the information given by the school's intelligence system, there are 3 practitioners of the dark camp in room 502 of this inn. They are all in the 5-star sanctuary realm, so they are relatively strong. Lu Jiyi took out the mission map, checked it carefully, and then followed up. Fang Fan silently nodded. He didn't say much at the moment, but the expression on his face changed very quickly. Looking at the past at a glance, it looks particularly prominent and unique. The existence of the 5-star sanctuary realm. It's okay. Brother Bai Biao, go knock on the door. Fang Fan looked at Bai Biao who was playing with Pixiu, and then followed suit. Fang Fan really didn't want to target Bai Biao, but mainly wanted him to have some mission contribution. Otherwise, if this is soy sauce all the time, the trial points cannot be too high. At that time, this guy might be eliminated from the first-year seed class. Okay, right away. Several 5-star sanctuary level existences still have injuries on their bodies, so it's a hammer. Bai Biao roared twice, then kicked out. The excitement on his face was beyond words, not to mention other feelings for the time being. He directly broke his position invisibly. That's probably what it looks like. Boom. Room 502 of this inn was roughly kicked open, and then the scene in front of them was gradually revealed to everyone. The things on the scene were shown a little purely, and the corners of everyone's mouths twitched subconsciously, and they were completely stunned at this moment. This is so. My mind exploded. Is this still playing with a hammer? Can you please stop for a while? Where are the practitioners of the 3 dark camps? There must be 30 of them. The room is not big, densely packed with human heads. Is this running into a den of thieves? The wind is blowing. Blow it up. Boy Fang Fan, retreat quickly. What kind of bullshit map is prepared by this school? Everything marked on this is wrong. I, CAO. Aren't the people in the academy a bit too bitchy? I seriously doubt that these people have known about this situation for a long time, and they just want to kill us. Rubbish. We actually hit a mine. A series of shouts followed, and Bipiao's gnashing of teeth was vividly displayed. Needless to say the rest, the state of mind at this moment will imperceptibly explode. Anyway, what I feel at this moment is such a thrilling thrill. My mentality is broken. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2806. As Bipiao was yelling, the people over there naturally discovered Bipiao. At this moment, each of them widened their eyes wide, and their eyeballs widened completely. Dozens of cultivators from the dark camp squeezed into a room, all rushed out, and then launched an attack. It was Bipiao who went up to knock on the door before, so the posture shown at this moment is also the purest. Bipiao was trembling aside. At this moment, I don't know what to say, and I want to escape quickly, but the practitioners of the dark camp in the room seem to be faster, blocking Bipiao directly. Big brothers. Just now, it was an accident. I'm here to catch rape. Yes. I'm here to catch rape. That bitch of my family actually came out to steal people behind my back. I ran here to catch the rape in a fit of anger. But who would have thought that he would find the wrong way and disturb all the bosses? I will withdraw now, immediately. Bipiao took a deep breath, and while talking, immediately nodded and bowed. Needless to say anything else, this feeling followed invisibly. This attitude has been displayed from beginning to end. Pure and sincere. The attitude is very clear. Bipiao looked at the people around him and didn't respond, then subconsciously heaved a sigh of relief, feeling that he could finally escape. Just now you mentioned the school. You should be a student of Guangming Academy. These students from Guangming Academy are here to call us. Yes. These are the people. We don't know how many brothers died at their hands. Boss. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Boss. The voices of these dozens of cultivators from the dark camp were louder and louder, and while they were talking, their gnashing of teeth was vividly displayed. Needless to say the rest for the time being, at this moment, the mentality has completely collapsed. While talking, these cultivators from the dark camp made a gesture to tear Bipiao into pieces. The current Bipiao wants to give himself a few big mouths. This mouth is so short of twitching. What was it called at the time? It's all right now, it's like this, the cool moonlight is waiting for him. This wave is so difficult. Mentality, collapsed. I don't know what to say anymore. Cough, 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 cough. Cough, 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 cough. At this moment, a trembling old man walked out of this group of practitioners from the dark camp. He was skinny all over his body, and his bony appearance seemed to be about to be blown down by a gust of wind. And he was still coughing non-stop, looking very weak. At this moment, the whole body of the old man has already curled up into a ball, the sound of breathing has become extremely rapid, and the change in his complexion is also particularly exciting. Needless to say anything else, this kind of mentality is directly in place. But just such an old man who looked like he was about to cough to death was surrounded by dozens of dark camp practitioners to the core position, and they were all calling him the boss. Thinking about it this way, the identity of this person is naturally extraordinary. Holy One. Holy Realm. Intermediate Saint. However, because of the serious injuries, he has fallen to the low-level Holy Realm. Fang Fan squinted his eyes and glanced around, and then his eyes gradually showed a serious color. Needless to say the rest for the time being, the mind at this moment will take off in an all-round way. 1. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2807. Good eyesight. Hee. Are you Fang Fan? The skinny old man from the dark camp glared at Fang Fan fiercely while speaking, and the corners of his mouth twitched all over at this moment. Needless to say the rest, the sound of breathing has become extremely rapid. Anyway, what was shown was such a pure gesture. Fang Fan seemed a little surprised. Is he already so famous now? If you go out for a stroll, will anyone know him? Do you know me? Fang Fan shrugged and asked back. Hee. The newcomer king of Guangming Academy, how can I not know? I once shocked and killed the 6-star first stage sanctuary level sky level students of Guangming Academy in the martial arts arena. Tutor Tai Shuja, the undead mentor of Guangming Academy. Gee. I didn't expect that I would snare a big fish here. My injury is the fault of Tai Shuji. This time I want revenge. I want revenge. Revenge. Cough, 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 cough. Then there was a loud roar, and the facial expression of the skinny old man in the dark camp changed especially wonderfully. While talking at the moment, killing intent emerged. Fang Fan shrugged, looking helpless. My master beat you, you came to seek revenge on me? If you can't beat my master, you will bully his apprentice? If you were in your prime, I might have to be cautious. As long as you only have half your life left, let alone my master, I can beat you to death in minutes. Fang Fan shrugged and said indifferently. When it's time to pretend, then don't be cowardly. Good. 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 Cough, 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 cough. Surely arrogant. Enough arrogant. Has it turned out to be like this? What kind of master is there really is what kind of apprentice? Your master Uncle G is crazy enough. I didn't expect you to be even more crazy. Even if you once had a record of beheading a 6-star early stage sanctuary, so what? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's ridiculous. Hee. In front of the Holy One, the sanctuary is all ants. Cough, 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 cough. The encouraged old man from the dark camp spoke with a look of excitement on his face, and then walked out with great strides. Boom, boom, boom. There was a sound of explosions, and then the inn was slowly collapsing. One can imagine the power of the Holy Lord. It was this decisive attitude that was displayed this time. At this moment, the customers in the inn naturally also felt these changes, and then hurriedly walked out of the room, and more people gathered around. The battle is imminent. Holy One, is the Holy One. The aura of the Holy Realm, this arrogance is the Holy One of the dark camp. I'm going. This is so unsteady. Run. Run quickly. Hiss, so terrifying. If you don't run away, it will be too late. Escape from here quickly. There was a burst of explosions, and the excitement on everyone's faces was beyond words. Needless to say other things for the time being, the mentality has already taken off in an all-round way. Taking advantage of this commotion, Bai Piao hurried to Fang Fan's side. Fang Fan boy, or we'd better withdraw. If you keep the green hills, you won't have to worry about no firewood. Fang Fan boy, I know you are strong, but you have to take the overall situation into account to stabilize the wave. You don't see how dangerous it is now. Hiss. This is the Holy One. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2808. Although Bai Piao trusts in Fang Fan's fighting strength, knowing that he has many cards, but no matter how many cards there are, there is a limit. What is involved now is the level of the saint level. As soon as I thought of this, the sense of panic that came from my heart couldn't help but increase. It is naturally impossible to say that there is no feeling at all. The Holy One was furious, and the blood flowed across the oar. Although the old man in the dark camp in front of him looks very weak, he is a middle-level saint after all. Even if he is seriously injured, it is not a problem to display the combat power of a low-level saint or quasi-honor. Saint Venerable Realm represents being promoted to 9-star Saint Realm. The reason why an additional level of 9-star sanctuary is divided into this realm is also to show its strength. All under the Holy One are ants. This is not just a casual talk, it is also very true from a certain angle. Don't worry. I have a measure. Besides, isn't there still Brother Bipiao here? Then there is nothing to be afraid of. Brother Bipiao is a hero. Once he unleashes his combat power, he will naturally crush all dissatisfaction. Brother Bipiao will be able to help resist even if the cultivators of the Saint Realm from this dark camp come to kill him at that time. While Fang Fan was talking, he nodded in agreement, as if what he said was true. Needless to say the rest, this kind of feeling will be in place virtually. Anyway, it is such a real feeling. Help resist and resist. This is what I said. Fang Fan boy, are you trying to trick me to death? What the hell? What can I resist? That's the Holy One. If this slap is taken, it may break the defense directly. Fang Fan boy, do you think too highly of me? Actually, I'm really not that strong, I'm just a rookie. Boy Fang Fan. Bai Piao took a deep breath, and while talking, his lips trembled slightly, and his whole body twitched unnaturally as he spoke. Needless to say anything else, the mentality has slowly collapsed at this moment. This wave is really unstoppable. Can the combat power of the Holy One be lightly underestimated? At that time, you really need to pay the price of your life. As soon as I think of this, I must feel extremely terrified. Gee. Don't even try to run. Bright Academy wants to use us as stepping stones and trial stones for you heavenly prides. I'm going to make those big shots in Guangming Academy regret it today. It's really ridiculous. Interesting. Really interesting. This wave of the seat is crushed in place, so there is no need to panic. It's worth it to kill all of you, the arrogance of Guangming Academy. Cough, cough cough cough. If you break through the iron shoes, you can find nowhere, and it doesn't take much effort. Cool. Cool. A series of tyrannical voices followed, and the expression of excitement on the face of the skinny old man from the dark camp was beyond words. Now it seems that Fang Fan and the others are settled. After all, he thinks he is a saint. And Fang Fan and others are just first-year students of Guangming Academy. Even if a student is evil, where can he be evil? Can it still be comparable to the Holy One? This is absolutely impossible. The surrounding crowd quickly fled towards the surrounding area, fearing that they would suffer some twists and turns. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2809. The aftermath of the Battle of the Strong in the Holy State is enough to wipe them out directly. Now that things have come to this, how dare they continue to entangle themselves here? Stabilization is necessary, and the rest must be invisible. The frantic battle broke out at this moment. The few members of Fang Fan's team were all okay. Daji, Lu Jiyi, and Xiao Liulai were all able to follow along and get ready for battle, and then Zhao Wei habitually got into the miniature version of the Suanwu iron ship. Bai Piao and the other two female students from the first-year seed class of Guangming Academy hurriedly ran behind Fang Fan, fearing that they would be involved in something. If they were not careful, they might be dragged into it by themselves. At times like this, there is only endless panic. As for the others, naturally they can only follow the silence. It's true to stay alive, and the rest are bullshit. Under the comprehensive crushing of death, it caused infinite shock to the soul. Dozens of cultivators from the dark camp on the other side suddenly launched a full-scale attack under the order of the skinny old man. Whoosh! Whoosh whoosh! The sound of battle gradually followed the surging. Although these dozens of dark camp practitioners are more or less injured, their basic combat power is not bad. Basically, they all exist in the 4-star and 5-star sanctuary realm, and even a few are in the 6-star sanctuary realm. And the 7-star sanctuary realm. Coupled with that emaciated old man in the holy state, this wave of power is so powerful. It inexplicably gives people a sense of amazement. Grass. The saint has come out. Why is the mentor arranged by Guangming Academy just to save the situation? Didn't it mean that they would show up in extremely dangerous situations? Damn, these are all fake. Or is it that the mentors of Guangming Academy have become so hard-hearted that they want to kill us? It's nothing but nothing. It's nothing but nothing. What the hell are you trying to do? Can you be a little more steady? CAO. Garbage. It's all garbage. The crackling sound followed, and the roaring sound never stopped. Bai Biao's posture exploded at this moment. It's all bullshit to say 1,000 words and 10,000, and at this moment, the sense of panic in my heart is also gathering in an all-round way. When encountering this kind of thing, it seems too normal for Bai Biao to make a lot of complaints. It's a little weird not to complain. Brother Bai Biao, protect me, you said before that you would protect me. Senior brother Bai Biao, and me, you have to protect me too. Brother Bai Biao. The 2 first-year seed class female students in the 3-star sanctuary realm were holding Bai Biao's arms from left to right, as if they regarded Bai Biao as the last straw. If Bai Biao gets cold on this side, their life will definitely not be easy, and it is very likely that they will also be completely cold. Now these 2 female students who are like vases can only pin all their hopes on Bai Biao. Although Bai Biao has been bragging a lot, but this defense is indeed leveraged. For these 2 3-star sanctuary level female students in the first-year seed class, they only know Bai Biao. Who else can they look for if they don't seek Bai Biao's protection? Now Bai Biao can be regarded as initially fulfilling the great ambition of hugging left and right. It's just that Bai Biao at this moment has no intention of enjoying these things at all. He can't even protect himself. What kind of beauty does he want? Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2810. Compared with a beauty, which one is not more important, your own life or the star core? Thinking of this, Bai Biao's mentality more or less collapsed, his whole body trembled slightly, the corners of his mouth trembled, and his gaze seemed to be extraordinarily wandering. There is no need to say much about the rest. What is displayed at this moment is probably such a pure attitude. If the attitude is in place, there is no need to say anything about the rest, and everyone knows everything. That's it. Boy Fang Fan. Or you will drag me into the small world. The outside world is scary. Bai Biao gave a wry smile, and felt his scalp go numb for a while. Go to the back, don't come out easily. Fang Fan let out a mouthful of turbid air, and then his eyes flashed with a different kind of brilliance. A big fight. It's on. The main combat power of the opponent is also relatively clear. 3 6-star sanctuaries, 1 mid-7-star sanctuary, and 1 middle-level saint, can only display the combat power of a quasi-lord or a low-level saint. Although their respective injuries are not serious, it is still very clear if the reason for the separation is revealed. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, which flickered with a different kind of brilliance. What should come will always come, let all this follow and explode in full swing. The major legions. Full gathering. The combat power is fully erupted. 6-star peak sanctuary realm Blood Shura Legion. 6-star Peak Sanctuary Realm Yellow Turban Sanctuary Warlock Legion. 6-star Peak Sanctuary Realm Gothic Sanctuary Sharpshooter Corps. 6-star Peak Sanctuary Realm Low Heavy Machine Artillery Corps. 6-star Peak Sanctuary Realm Sanctuary Silver Dragon Knight Legion. 6-star Peak Sanctuary Realm Seraphim Army. 6-star Peak Sanctuary Realm Abyss Demon King Legion. 6-star Peak Sanctuary Realm Verdict Unicorn Holy Beast Army. 5-star Peak Sanctuary Realm Titan Warrior Legion. 5-star Peak Sanctuary Realm Heavenly Dragon Knight Legion. 10 Legions. Line up. Meet the enemy. Comprehensive. Execute. At Fang Fan's order, all the top 10 legions that had been fully promoted were summoned by Fang Fan from the small world of Shushan Pavilion. At this moment, hundreds of battle forces are lined up in a row, and hundreds of combat forces are gathered in an instant, giving people a sense of endless shock in consciousness. Of the top 10 legions under Fang Fan's command, 8 of them are in the 6-star Peak Sanctuary realm, and 2 of them are in the 5-star Peak Sanctuary realm. After hundreds of 5-star and 6-star Peak Sanctuary level soldiers are in place, they will each use their strengths, and they can completely abuse everything at this moment. The dozens of cultivators from the dark camp in front of him are not opponents at all. The existence of the opponent's 6-star sanctuary and below is basically a wave of crushing and then instant killing. As for the existence of the mid-7-star sanctuary realm, after being besieged by hundreds of legion soldiers of the 6-star Peak Sanctuary realm, they could only be passively beaten, and then gradually approach defeat under the pressure of the characteristics of the major legions. All the soldiers of the 6-star Peak Sanctuary realm Gothic Sanctuary Sharpshooter Legion aim and shoot. 6-star Peak Sanctuary realm Law, all soldiers of the Heavy Machine Artillery Corps carry out machine gun suppression. The 6-star Peak Sanctuary realm Blood Shura Legion, the 6-star Peak Sanctuary realm Seraphim Legion, and the 6-star Peak Saint realm Abyss Demon King Legion are crushing from all sides. Persecute the 7-star mid-sanctuary cultivators of the Dark Camp. Kill. Fang Fan is carrying out overall planning in an orderly manner. After a wave of impact, the strong man in the 7-star sanctuary of the Dark Camp can only kill him with his neck.